Matthew Bible Summary to Judges 16. Samson lifteth up the gates of Gaza, and carrieth them up into the mountain. He was deceived by Delilah, and made blind. He pulleth down the house upon the Philistines, and dieth with them. The 16th chapter. Then went Samson to Gaza, and saw there an whore, and went in unto her. And it was told the Gazites that Samson was come thither. And they went about, and laid a wait for him all night in the gate of the city, but were still all the night, saying, Tarry till the morning, that it be day, and then let us kill him. And Samson took his rest till midnight, and arose at midnight, and took the doors of the gate of the city, and the two side posts, and rent them off, bars and all, and put them upon his shoulders, and carried them up to the top of an hill that lieth before Ebron. And after that he loved a woman upon the river of Sorek, called Delilah, unto whom came the lords of the Philistines, and said unto her, Flatter with him, and see wherein his great strength lieth, and by what means we may have power over him, that we may bind him, to bring him under. And we will give every man 1,100 silverlings. And Delilah said to Samson, O, tell me where thy great strength lieth, and if thou were bound wherewith men might constrain thee. And Samson said unto her, If men bound me with 7 green withs that were never dried, I should be weak, and as another man. And then the lords of the Philistines brought her 7 withs that were yet green and never dried, and she bound him therewith. Notwithstanding, she had men lying in wait with her in the chamber. And she said unto him, The Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he brake the cords as a string of tow breaketh, when it feeleth fire, and so his strength was not known. Then said Delilah to Samson, See, thou hast mocked me, and told me lies. Now yet tell me, I pray thee, wherewith thou mightest be bound. And he said, If I were bound with new ropes that never were occupied, then should I be weak, and as another man. And Delilah took new ropes, and bound him therewith, and said unto him, The Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And there were liers of weight in the chamber, and he brake them from off his arms, as they had been but a thread. And Delilah said unto Samson, Hitherto thou hast beguiled me, and told me lies. I pray thee, yet tell me wherewith men may bind thee. And he said unto her, If thou plaitedest the 7 locks of my head with an hair lace, and fastenedest them with a nail. And she said unto him, The Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he awaked out of his sleep, and plucked, and went away with the nail that was in the plaiting, and with the hair lace. Then she said unto him, How canst thou say that thou lovest me, when thine heart is not with me? For thou hast mocked me this 3 times, and hast not told wherein thy great strength lieth. And as she lay upon him with her words, continually vexing of him, his soul was encumbered even unto the death. And he told her all his heart, and said unto her, There never came razor nor shears upon mine head, for I have been an abstainer to God, even from my mother's womb. If mine hair were cut off, my strength would go from me, and I should wax and be like all other men. And when Delilah saw that he had told her all his heart, she sent for the Philistines, saying, Come up yet this once, for he hath showed me all his heart. Then the lords of the Philistines came and brought the money in their hands, and she made him sleep upon her lap, and sent for a man, and cut off the 7 locks of his head, and began to vex him. But his strength was gone from him. And she said, The Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he awoke out of his sleep, and thought to go out as at other times before, and shake himself, and wist not that the Lord was departed from him. But the Philistines took him, and put out his eyes, and brought him down to Gaza, and bound him with fetters. And he was made to grind in the prison house. Howbeit, the hair of his head began to grow again after that he was shorn. Then the lords of the Philistines gathered them together for to offer a solemn offering unto Dagon their god, and to rejoice, for they said, Our God hath delivered Samson our enemy into our hands. And when the people saw him, they praised their God, for they said, Our God hath delivered into our hands our enemy, that destroyed our country and slew many of us. And when their hearts were merry, they said, Send for Samson, and let him play before us. And they fetched Samson out of the prison house, and he played before them, and they set him between the pillars. And Samson said unto the lad that led him by the hand, Set me that I may touch the pillars that the house stand upon, and that I may lean to them. And the house was full of men and women, and there was all the lords of the Philistines, and there were upon the roof 3,000 men and women, that beheld how Samson played. And Samson called unto the Lord, and said, My Lord Jehovah, think upon me, and strengthen me, at this time only, O God, that I may be avenged of the Philistines for my 2 eyes. And Samson caught the 2 middle pillars on which the house stood, and on which it was borne up, the one in his right hand, and the other in his left, and said, My soul die with the Philistines, and bowed them with might, and the house fell upon the lords, and upon all the people that were therein. And so the dead which he slew at his death were more than they which he slew in his life. And then his brethren and all the house of his father came down, and took him up, and brought him, and buried him between Zarah and Estaol, in the burying place of Manoah his father. And he judged Israel 20 years.